All right, y'all. Today is March 21st. It is a Saturday. So I'm gonna be going over my trade recap from yesterday that I took. I didn't make any money from it. It was a break-even trade, but I feel like this is very informative. You know what I'm saying, for my future trades, that's something I can look back from and learn from, and maybe even something that y'all can learn from as well. Um, I just decided to record this today. I was gonna record it yesterday, but I was still iffy. Like, should I record it? It's just a break-even trade, and y'all know me. I usually don't post my break-even trades. I usually don't. I don't even journal them, to be honest. Like, I don't journal them. I don't post them on YouTube because I'm like, there's no point. Like I break even, right? It's not a win or loss. Nothing really I can learn from. But I feel like this one is very informative. And I feel like you're able to help me in the future. And to be honest, this one I did get really lucky, really blessed. But we'll go ahead and get into that, right? Make sure if you haven't yet, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I do want to keep bringing y'all these recaps. Um, and let me know if you actually like the break even recaps, because there is some days where I do get break even and I don't post them. Um, so if y'all do want to see those, if y'all do want to see like more in depth of like why I got break even, what can I learn from it, let me know in the comments or just like the video. And I'll come out with more videos of my break even trades. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the actual trade today, okay? Or the trade from yesterday, right? So then, boom, let's go to the 4 hour, okay? So on the 4 hour, we'll go ahead and go back to the 6 a.m. candle, start new right here. So boom, whenever I on the 4 hour, this is what I had seen, right? I had seen, okay, we're displacing obviously on the 4 hour, right? We're displacing. So now I go down to the hourly. Okay, this is at 5 a.m. Okay, we're still displacing, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip to 9 a.m. Okay, and then right here it's 9 a.m. Okay, so boom. So we created this hourly gap. We're tapping into it, and this yellow line I have right here is the halfway point, or the previous day equilibrium of the previous day range, so Thursday's range. So when I turn this on, as y'all see, previous day equilibrium right there. Okay, so then now let's go ahead and go down to the 15 minute, see what we got. Okay, so right here it is 9 o'clock, so let's go and skip to 9:30. Okay, but as y'all can see, I am leaning more towards bearish, right? We're obviously respecting the 4 hour gap. We're displacing lower from the 4 hour. We're in this hourly gap, right? We tapped equilibrium of this hour of this daily range. So everything to me is leaning more towards shorts, right? I'm like, okay, cool. I can look for shorts, right? So now let's go down to market open. So right here it is 9:30, okay? So boom. Let's go ahead and skip. So then we end up start dumping, right? Which is what I wanted to see. I'm like, cool, perfect. We start dumping. We're still dumping, right? And I remember there was a trade I was going to take, right? There was a trade I was going to take. I think it was a 2 minute inversion, but it was later. Let me see. I gotta go to the 2 minute. It actually might be right here. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's right here. So this was gonna be my original short right here. So we're still inside this hourly. I think we even tapped a 5 minute if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we tapped a 5 minute as well. So what I wanted to see is us flip and inverse this 2 minute right here and look for shorts all the way down to this low. Now, mind you, we did have SMT at the low. At the daily low, we had SMT, but we're obviously bearish, right? We've had SMT all week, and we obviously keep pushing lower to that low. Even though ES already had taken it, NQ seemed like it was heading towards that direction. So I really didn't mind the SMT at the lows, right? But let's go and see what happens. Okay, so boom. So we tapped this one time, and I know my rule of thumb, right? I know my rule of thumb. If we tap it more than twice, then it's no longer invalid, right? Or it's no longer valid. I'm sorry. So then boom, we had this closure right here. So I'm like, damn, we had a good closure. And I was even debating, okay, if we close good on this next one, I'll go ahead and take it. But what did we do? We just straight dumped. And I'm like, damn, we took out my break even spot. So I'm like, no more entry for me, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So now we just keep playing it. We could keep dumping lower. And I could have gotten on this off this fair value gap entry, but we had equal highs. So I didn't want to get in off that. So I faded that. And that one ended up playing. We kept going lower, lower. And this is the trade I took right here. Another fair value gap entry, right? Boom, right here. This is where I got in. Now, like I said, it could be the SMT that caused us, to just start chopping here, or I don't know, right? But I got so lucky on my break even. My break even was at 30. I mean, not my break even. My stop loss was at 30. I remember it was at 30. I had it originally. I thought I had it originally above this gap, but I had it up here, right, at 30. So we end up chopping, chopping. Okay, we finally come back up, tap this gap, good respect. We're still pushing up, chopping, and right here I thought I was gonna get stopped, right? But I got blessed. I don't know how I got blessed. Right here, got blessed. 28 by 2 points, literally didn't get stopped out. I moved my break even down to this low right here. We still haven't taken out the low. We're just chopping. Then we finally take out the low, so I went break even. Had this gap protecting us, and then we ended up just getting break even. So that was pretty much a trade. Now, what I can learn from this is, like I said, maybe because this SMT that we had is what caused us. As you see, ES already took out this low, NQ didn't, right? Maybe that could have been the reason, or also another reason could have been that where was I think it was on the hourly. There was an hourly low here that got swept. So it was where's the hourly low? I think it might have been, yeah, it was this one right here, this hourly low. So this hourly low was here before pre-market, and maybe that's why we started chopping too, because we took out this low, and then from there we just started chopping, right? So maybe that could have been a reason too why. But the thing is, what I really want to come out here and say about this trade is I'm done after today. I'm done taking fair value gap entries, right? Like I said, it could have been premature. It could have been like we had SMT, we already took out a key level, a swing low. There's no valid draw. Maybe those are all the reasons. But what I've noticed, even from going to my journal, I've noticed that every time I take a fair value gap entry, even it could be a win too, it could be a W. I always tend to get in drawdowns where I'm literally about to get stopped or I get stopped. And I don't like dealing with the pressure of that. Like, I've gone through my journal, I've seen my recaps about my inverse entries, and when I get an inverse, it's clean, straight displacement, right? Straight displacement to the draw. I'm literally barely in any drawdown, right? And I feel like those is what I'm better at. So I think from now on, like I know I had said I was only gonna take fair value gap entries if like the draw is clear, and the draw was clear on this day, right? I thought we were gonna for sure go to this low, which I think we ended up dip booking like later in the day. Let me go and double check. I don't want to be wrong and say we did, and we didn't actually do it, but I think we did. We see we're just chopping right here. We're just chopping, chopping. Like that's exactly why the fair value gap entries, in my opinion, I need to just fade away from them and stay away. But I think we end up do playing right here to this low. I mean, I guess not, maybe not. Okay, there we go. So we ended up they going to the low. So my draw was hit, but like I said, all this chop for what? You know what I'm saying? This could have been avoided if I didn't take like no, fair value gap entry, just waited for an inverse, right? Um, but yeah, I think after this trade, I'm for sure done because it kind of timed me out. This should have really been a loss because I could have sworn I put my stop loss at 25, but it was at 30 when I went to trade bait. So this should have been a loss, and I feel like this is a loss in my opinion. Like this was just a bad trade. Um, I'm luckily I even got break even. On my fundeds, I'm lucky I got break even, but this felt like a loss in my opinion. It didn't sit right with me, and this is why I want to make this video because I know this is not a good trade, and there's so much more I can learn from it. So that's why I'm making this video. And from what I get from this video is, even though a fair value gap entry, even though you could have a good draw and the draw could be correct, right? It's just not my cup of tea, right? And I feel like inverse the last couple of weeks that I've been taking wins and passing my fundeds, getting these W's, have been on inverses and displacement. I feel like I need to stick to that, to be honest. I need to stick to that because now even looking at this fair value gap entry, there was no displacement from the fair value gap, right? Like this one right here, when we tap this fair value gap, this next candle displaced. So that could have been maybe a valid fair value gap entry, but I didn't like it because of equal highs. But like this one, there was no displacement, right? No displacement at all. So it was just not really a good trade in my opinion. It was not a good trade. And that's what I can learn from it. I'm just gonna completely take out fair value gap entries because it's just not worth it in my opinion, right? Um, but yeah, that's all I got from this video. I journaled this trade as well. I usually don't journal break even trades. I don't make recaps for break even trades, but this just didn't sit right with me, and it was just a bad break even. Like I got lucky. I honestly got lucky that I got break even. So I wanted to bring this video to y'all, make this video, just so it can help y'all. Maybe y'all going through the same thing. I just want to bring this video out just for awareness, just so I can learn from myself and also help y'all. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. Hopefully next week will be clean. This week I didn't really take too many trades because of FOMC. I took Monday and Wednesday off, and then Tuesday there was nothing. I got on the charts, there was nothing, so I didn't take anything. But yeah, hopefully next week can provide some opportunities. I need 3 more days for a payout. I'm almost there building my buffer too, so hopefully next week we can get that. I'm not gonna force. I'm gonna keep being patient, wait for my setup, and I'm only gonna take inverses from now on with great displacement. I feel like that's my bread and butter. That's what works for me. And I don't need to catch these fair value gap entry moves, right? I don't need to catch them. If it ended up hitting, oh well, move on to the next day. Take my green week, move on to the next week, right? So yeah, I'm gonna keep bringing all these recaps. If y'all have any questions, make sure you let them down in the comments, or go ask me on TikTok at Tone Trades. Make sure you go follow that as well. I am more active on there. And like I said from the beginning of the video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you share my vids. And yeah, that's all I got. I'll see y'all on Monday.